What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Thank you so much for tuning in. It's me, Mikey Pipes. I'm about to take you on a service call. We're finally going to restore designed efficiency for this Crown gas-fired steam boiler. And basically what that means, on a prior service call, Derek and I were able to successfully diagnose an intermittent failure on an automatic vent damper, the Field Controls GVD-6. We bypassed it safely. Now we're going back to put in a customer supplied damper. Are you ready? Let's go! But before we get started with the video, I need you guys to stay tuned on Tuesday, March 10th, 2026 at 2 p.m. for my live premiere, a special Mikey Pipes birthday bash with ACIQ. If you're an HVAC contractor, you're not going to want to miss this live stream with the head of sales, the head of tech services, the head of business development. You're not going to want to miss it. Check it out. The live stream starts 2 p.m. on Tuesday, March 10th. And trust me, you're not going to want to miss it. Let's go check out this Crown boiler and get him up and running. You ready? Let's go. Oh, look, he's waiting for us. Good morning.
Good morning.
Let me try to do my little magic carpet trick here. So we can wipe our feet on our carpet. It's on your floor. You're very welcome. So, Derek, I understand you have that damper you want us to install now.
Yep.
Excellent. Good morning.
Good morning.
I remember this bad boy. All right.
Just taking something down him. Yeah.
Good stuff. Good stuff. All right, Derek, if you remember this service call, the boiler was making temperature, or reaching a limit, and then not turning back on unless you power cycled it. And we determined that it was the damper. So we jumped it out and removed the guts of it, which is right here. And now we have a new one. Okie dokie. So we're going to put that in. We'll take this apart again and then finish up with a combustion test. All right, so watch this. No, that's not going. Didn't we take this out? God damn it. That's hot. All right, let's wiggle it. There's no more screws there. We took this out last time. Why is it not coming out now? There you go. At least you got a stainless steel liner in there. So we removed all the guts from it to create a piece of ductwork in a safe fashion. So now, Derek, grab that new damper, put that on top of there. Alright, I would spin this back a little bit this way because the harness will plug right into there. Okay, good. Now,
I'm gonna go get a screw.
There's no screws in the clear case? No? You know what? We're going to need the screws and the little crimp. Alright, now, that's going to go in there. Get the needle nose. The harness is installed. Three screws per fitting, right?
Yeah.
Good. Let's fire up. Let's see what that switch position is in. It is in automatic. So it's closing. And we'll do a call for heat. Want to raise the thermostat up? I messed up. You use this when you have intermittent pilot or hot service igniter. So just pop those screws out. Sorry. but if I didn't do it, I'd be pissed at myself. Come on, baby. Let me fold these in a little bit more. Ooh, got lucky there. I'm trying to avoid not having to pull this whole thing out. Ow, it's just too hot. I'm going to take this out. No, take this out. Alright, see the needle nose? Before I burn my fingers. That is hot. Ow. Damn you hot. Stop being so hot. Ow. Ow.
So that is usually when there's an intermittent module, ignition module?
Yeah, so the reason for this little plug, Derek, is that if you have a standing pilot, you want the exhaust gases to pass up and out a little bit. So a little bit, right? But if you have a direct spark, intermittent pilot, hot surface ignition system, it's not gonna be on. There's no pilot. It's on 24/7. You know what I mean? Yeah. Well, it just makes it more engineered. Okay. There's that. There's that. And there's that.
It's okay.
I got it. Okay. Oh, sorry. Thank you. Okay. So in the manual, Derek, it says the plug is installed only if the appliance is equipped with an intermittent or direct ignition system. Failure to follow these instructions can cause odor problems and minor property damage due to moisture. Do not install on standing pilot systems. Odor, huh? I didn't know your boiler has an odor. It's like it's passing gas. Oh, literally, it's passing gas. So I know you installed this boiler a couple of years ago, and you have this automatic water feed, and you have heat pumps with solar panels on your roof that generates electricity. But for a moment, let's just talk about the steam boiler, especially because you have an automatic water feed. An automatic water feed is a luxury part of this boiler that prevents you from adding water as it loses it. You with me? Ideally, you should be replacing the water in this boiler once a month when you drain some water out of it to make sure that the low water cutoff works. That's your responsibility as a homeowner with steam, to make sure that that low water cutoff there is always working. And you do that by draining some water out of the boiler.
Actually did yesterday.
Excellent. So when you do that, that light comes on the low water cutoff, and then since you have a feeder, it will replenish what it's lost. Good. Now, because you have an automatic feeder, if there's an abnormal water loss being caused by this boiler, that feeder will replace it and you won't even know, unless you can hear it. Sometimes you do because they're kind of loud. Now, you'll have an abnormal water loss if the air valves on each radiator hiss continuously when the system is running. Not like and stops. Continuous. Yeah, your air is going to feel great because it's going to be more humidity level in the home, and especially in the winter. But that water has to be replaced. And by that automatic feeder, or by manually adding water to replace that lost water, you're adding fresh oxygenated water to a cast iron pot that doesn't like fresh oxygenated water. It just likes water. So if you're doing that, a couple times, like once a week, and then a couple times a week, then a couple times a day, you're going to cut a hole into the boiler that is going to cause steam to go up the chimney. Because if there's a hole in that cast iron pot with that lid on it, and the lid only has one hole in it, which is this pipe, if there's a hole in that cast iron pot, steam is going to go up the chimney, and on that nice cold day with clear skies, you're going to see white smoke coming out top of your chimney like you think you're electing the Pope. Seriously. So if you ever see that, No good for whoever has that kind of boiler. And that means that they had a water loss and it kept being replenished over and over and over again, and major problem. I'm saying this because I've replaced boilers that are a couple years older than this. I've done it several times because of that reason, because they have an automatic feeder. Oh, it does it once a day. It did that since the day they put it in. I was like, probably not, right? But if you have hissing sounds or a wet return is leaking somewhere, like it's underground, for example. All right, let's see these results. Let's reference. And we're almost at 500 stack temperature, 5.7 oxygen. Not too shabby. All right, we're going to lower the thermostat on this crown. All right, wait for the damper to close. And she closes. Beautiful. This is the Field Controls GVD-6. Now, there's one other thing I want you to know. On oh good, he didn't bring the tool bag away. On windy days, let's say like hurricane type winds, right? If the boiler's running and you have a positive pressure home, which means the wind is blowing down your chimney, you're gonna cause this switch right here with the two black wires here, which is called a spill switch or blocked vent damper switch, or blocked vent switch. So if you have no heat and it's been windy or whatever, or even if it's not, right? There's a little button in between the two little wires.
I know exactly.
You push that in, and if you hear a little click and it kicks on, mission accomplished, right? But it shouldn't have to do it over and over and over again. So if you're pushing that button like multiple times to keep this boiler running, something's wrong with your chimney. Stop doing that and have your chimney inspected, or call us and we'll do a combustion test. But combustion test was done. We're good. Derek, I went in there with the attitude that we're going to sign him up for a heating maintenance agreement. And sure enough, we signed him up. That's number 2 for this week. So now I'm tied with Daniel. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, check out the Mikey Pipes Uncensored YouTube channel. I have a maintenance agreement war board in our warehouse. We're tracking our company goal of 2,000 active maintenance plans for the company. We're 14% to that goal, and we're tracking it daily on the Mikey Pipes Uncensored YouTube channel. Make sure you check it out. And also, if you want any stickers like the ones behind me, email me, mike@mikeypipes.com. I'll send you a boatload of stickers, totally free. If you'd like to make a donation to the postage fund or our nonprofit, pipesforfree.org, no donation would be refused. Get to the next one. Be well, God bless, stay safe. And don't forget, folks, Tuesday, March 10th, 2026 at 2 p.m., my birthday bash with ACIQ. Live Q&A, dealer specials, incredible giveaways, live exclusive offers, once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. You're not going to want to miss it. Tuesday, March 10th, 2026, 2 p.m. See you then.